you now before we're too far gone.
Ooh. Ooh.
I hope you
Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is 62 degrees Fahrenheit where I am, and it's very sunny. Ooh, thank you, man. Squirrel girl. All right. I just had to come on here today. I know it's abnormal for me to hit it at 2:21 p.m. Central Time, but yes, I've had a soda, and I lost it. I don't know where it's at. But I'd like to have it back. I am coming on here because just to give a little, no, not a little, nothing. We all know or should know by now about the Nashville school shooting. Female shooter, two assault style rifles and a pistol. She killed 3 students and 3 adults at a private Christian school in Nashville, and it's the latest mass shooting that just keeps on growing in our country. I don't know if this is the first female shooter, but it's the first female shooter I have heard of. And my problem is, um, the disgusting Betty Butthorn started talking about it this morning. She calls herself going live with the first uh case about it. She's all, I'm live and it's great, and I'm the first one with all kind of computer errors where nobody can understand shit she's saying. But I'm a veteran. I love my country, but I can't stand a woman who sits there and puts her own 2 cents into something that she has no facts on. The first thing she put out with no facts. Did she know there was a shooting? Yes. Had the press conference come out? No. Did she put out there that a scumbag 20-year-old male probably took out these children? And then she went on her own private little rant about what we got going on in this country about kids and the whole thing about dressing like cats and then transgenders and sexual identity disorders and her own opinion on how that's going in our country. And I don't know how she got that shit mixed up with a school shooting. She just threw that out there with the school shooting. It's a terrible, terrible thing that happened. The school runs from K to 6th grade. Get that down in your head there. K through 6th grade. So at best, we're talking about 5th or 6th grader, and it was a female. But she really, as Natasha Cooper likes to say, kicked my turtle. Hell no, she didn't kick it. She kicked the motherfucker over with her pre-hate and her prejudgment on some mystery 20-year-old male out of her head. There was no talk of a 20-year-old male. And on top of that, there was no talk of sexual identity. Not by the news. She just totally put out facts, her facts, like she does all the time. I listened to her, yeah. And all I did was just wait till one day. I've heard people say she doesn't put out the facts till later. but she puts out her own opinion that stacks a lot. And I waited to see. Eventually, one day I figured I would find out or catch her if she did, but I did today. She totally put out a whole narrative and she created a whole person to this tragic incident. Can you imagine whatever things must have been going on for this sixth grader or fifth grader to go into a school with 2 assault rifles and a handgun? 7 people died, to include the shooter. And on top of all of that, like, it's tragic already. Like, did it need Betty Butthorn to go in there and, act like she normally acts like the know-it-all to know all information? And why do I have worse than Natasha today? Because the past of Natasha, we know what that is. And today, Betty Butthorn passed up anything I've ever heard Natasha say on her channel about a case. They both do crime. They both do crime. They both do just stories along that. They both do it. But they don't both do that kind of stuff. So you may not like it or not, but Betty Butthorn puts out a lot of shit that isn't true. And I can say that Natasha Cooper puts out the facts. I know for a fact that I do not believe that Natasha Cooper would have ever went live with this story and called a 6th grader or a 5th grader. We don't even know that yet. And it's 2:28 where I am, and this happened at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I still don't know. From the news, not from JBL even. We don't know. Hasn't been given to us. The update is 3 kids, 3 adults are dead in Nashville school shooting. People have theories? Of course they do. People in the chats are going crazy? Of course they are. But you can always count on JBL the channel to have the current content and reliable force. And I don't see anybody in their chats running off at LGBTQ statements like Betty Butthorn did. And then she stopped and she called the shooter a 20-year-old scumbag who doesn't know its sexual identity and went into there and shot up a bunch of kids. And to make it worse, Betty Butthorn said, and I'm going to quote her, she said, if you're one of those type people, don't go into a school or anything and shoot people. Stay at home, put the gun up to your head, and pull the trigger. You are a nasty human being. You told someone, I don't care, anybody that could be sitting at home, any kid could be overhearing their parents listening to her, because I'm sure after this, there's a lot of kids at home. Or at any time. They could be listening to their parents over listening to that loud mouth, cackling hen. Yeah, she says things like that and then starts laughing. You're not funny. Only you think you're funny. But to tell someone to shoot themselves in the head, what is wrong with you? You should stick to the facts of true crime, not anything to do with shootings. Or at least after, some real information comes out. I will ever be listening to Betty Butthorn again. Her information is not real. She puts out bad facts. They're not facts. She puts out all the. And do you think she corrected herself? Do you think when the information came out that she got online and said, oh, hold on, it's not a male, it's a female, and the number of people shot was this, this, and this, and we don't know, her race, we don't know this. Do you think she got on there and corrected her own self? No, she did not. She played the whole, oh, my computer's not working. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with this. Sound like the worst damn hyena I've ever heard on Wild Kingdom. If you want to hear the news, go watch the news. At least get the real facts. Don't get your real facts from Betty Butthorn because the first things you hear are not real. And I noticed that about a lot of other things she tells too. But that's just right now. We don't even know the age of the child yet. I haven't gone to look at any news that's out there right now. I am just strictly going off the news that I heard right before I came in. Betty Butthorn gave her news, information while it was live. She was doing it while it was live. I know that part because I was watching it myself. I don't know how she lives with herself. I could have recorded her rant, I guess. I guess I should have. That's what most people do. We go copy this Tragic T says, hi, I'm new here. I'm loving your impressions of her face. Why? That ain't no job. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's the most annoying thing she does to me.
I find the laugh the most annoying.
I like your rant better. Thank you. Her thing is annoying to me too. She does it so much, but I was waiting for her to get back to to correct herself and to say, that she was wrong earlier because I I just couldn't I didn't go back and record her and the nasty things she said about the person she thought it was. The 20-year-old boy, scumbag, stay at your house, kill your own self. I didn't record that because that's a lot of things that people do on YouTube. We copy what other people say and we start a battle of recordings. All you got to do is go listen to her uh, live yourself if you want to. If you don't want to, don't worry. Somebody's going to record it and put it out there. I'm not going to put it out there because I refuse to spread it around. I'm not going to spread her nasty, disgusting bullshit she spreads. If you don't believe me, don't believe me. I don't care. I mean, you've heard her do a lot of the things if you've ever listened to her before. Why would I lie about it? Why would I lie about her saying awful things about a male? She's very anti-male anyway. I mean, I don't know why any males listen to her. Every if you have a true crime or a missing kid and there's a male involved in it and 21 females, she's gonna say the fucking male did it right out the top. So it's Betty Butthorn gets on the case and you're involved in it as a parent or a step parent. Dudes, I feel sorry for y'all. Get the fuck away from there. I know you want to help find your kid, but she's gonna put it all on you from the get-go. There ain't no way she ain't gonna. Um, please, if you like what you're hearing here, hit the like button and please subscribe and just spread it around. Send everybody in this here. I'll listen to everything you got to say. I don't hide anybody from coming. I clip, but I usually don't clip her. But don't clip her, you're really not gonna like what you heard. I hardly ever watch her. She annoys the hell out of me. I see her material on burnt toast. She is burnt toast. I don't know who burnt toast is. Tragic T, you know exactly what I'm talking about then. Um, I actually was watching her for a good bit because I had heard people say that she when something happens and she covers a case, she tells things not exactly the truth and then doesn't correct herself and then goes on about another subject and then eventually a couple of lives down the road somewhere else she will get around to fixing it. She spreads information from what I could tell. Yes, that this morning was not just information. It was you had the wrong gender, the wrong uh age group. I mean, the point that got to me the most, um, I appreciate it. She's a scammer. That's how I see her. She is. I mean, I don't care if your laptop doesn't work. I don't care if you're too stupid to change the bulbs inside your headlights. I mean, I don't care. You're always beating down on men. Uh, and you think you're better, and I don't. And so what? She reminds me of that like 80s. I mean, I'm just saying. Yes, I was just making fun of the 80s with my voice. I didn't turn into a 80s like whatever. But I just couldn't believe all the things she said before she knew one thing about the shooter. She didn't know a thing. She didn't even know the gender. And so for me to add Natasha Cooper to this, well, I'm just telling you right now, everybody on the internet hates Natasha Cooper. That's great right there. I don't even know if I could read that right. Poop face, poop face.
Oh, it's emojis.
Oh,
It doesn't show up on StreamYard.
Squirrel Girl says that's emojis, and now see now I look worse. Let me leave that alone. That's a good one. You got me, Tragic T. I didn't know that was emojis just not showing up. I thought you were a great typer or something. Y'all are too funny. You got me. Um, you got me so much I forgot what I was saying. Do you remember, Squirrel?
About Natasha.
Oh, Natasha Cooper. I don't ever talk about Natasha Cooper. But I'm going to say this right here because I put her on my tag right there, so I'm gonna. Natasha Cooper has changed a lot. Ever since that grandbaby came along, she's been doing really good. And people now are attacking her for no reason, really. None. She's doing her own thing, sticking to her own channel, except for that BBZ. I know it's T, I just don't care to talk about it. Somebody's about to correct me, like I didn't know. This girl was about to say, yeah, I know, I just don't want to talk about it. First of all, nobody can understand shit she says. Tragic T says, I hear she still needs a roof. You should come over to Burnt Toast channel sometimes. She usually streams at night. I will check that out. I would check that out because I have never been there. Yeah, she needs a new roof. Why ain't she going to throw it on herself? I wonder if she's going to put the roof on because, there's a lot of men in roofing and she swears she don't need a man for nothing. So, um, she needs to investigate the death of her hair. She's trying to bring back the 80s. That's what I think she's trying to do. Bring back the 80s. Now back to Natasha. She's been doing very good since that grandbaby came along. I'm not going to say it softened her. I'm just going to say that's a nice grandbaby. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I am saying Natasha Cooper is better than Betty Butthorn in so many ways. Even in her past, never stooped as low with bad information on any true crime I've ever heard. I've never heard her say something wrong and not correct it. That much I'll say. Has she got stuff wrong? Hey, everybody gets stuff wrong. Usually they correct it because the information wasn't out then. That's just how true crime goes, and true crime changes all the time. You know, even I do my best and make a mistake sometimes. So it ain't like, we're perfect people. But Betty Butthorn, you just did some fucked up shit this morning. You called the little kid out her name. You called her a scumbag. You didn't even listen, y'all. This was a child. A child took a weapon to school. 2 weapons, 3. A child took 3 weapons, 2 assault rifles, and a handgun to school. And in a 2-story building, they got to the 2nd floor. And were these people targeted? 3 kids, 3 adults, plus the shooter died. So that's 7 people total. I mean, just think about that. 7 people died. At best, you can say human beings. Because no matter what age they are, they just it shouldn't happen. I just people are probably saying I want to know the motive behind it and all of that stuff. But do we really? We're gonna find out what the motive was to the best of finding out. And that's if they left the note. If they did not leave a note, we're never truly gonna find out why. We're never gonna find out why. I don't know if this is the first time there's a female shooter. I'm pretty sure. I'm thinking there is. And it's sad news just for the shooter as it is for the actions, for the people that lost their lives. I can imagine this kid walking around whatever they feel, and you have a lot of people assuming a whole lot of things about this kid. You know, they're talking about, the sexual identity of this child. I haven't heard that fact mentioned in any of the debriefings from the court, from the share, the whatever, the guy on scene, the police commissioner or whatever. I haven't heard even that's been a factor right now. I think they're just trying to do their preliminary everything. I'm sure it'll be later on before they get to we think that'll become fact. If this is something we'll ever know, will be only if they have a note. But you can believe that what this child felt enough to take the 3 guns to school and to end her own life was pretty serious. And Betty Butthorn shouldn't be making fun of that, shouldn't have taken the time to pronounce her own ignorance of what she thought was the truth. And not one thing she put out there was the truth at all. You call yourself a good old American. As a veteran, I had to defend you and give you that right and protect you together that you keep the rights to say what you say. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. It's kind of embarrassing for us vets when we fight to give you freedoms that you take and just destroy like a piece of paper and throw it in the trash and turn it into something that you use as a button for hate toward another person. And in this case, an adult to a child. Do you even think before you say anything? I guess not. Let me see. Tragic T said, Jesus, take the wheel. Tragic T said, I've not heard about the shooting at all. I don't know how. It's all over the news. Can you tell me anything about the shooting? What does Betty get wrong besides everything? Everything. It was happened at um the in Nashville Christian school. There was a shooting of 3 children, 3 adults, and the shooter was killed. So a total of 8 adults. I mean, a total of 7 people were killed. See that, Betty? That's how you correct something when you say it wrong. You stop and you correct it. 3 children, 3 adults killed at a Christian school in Nashville. A female shooter wielding 2 assault-style rifles and a pistol at a private Christian school. Is what happened in it, and the latest in mass shootings in the country. Um, that's what happened, and it happened around 9ish or so. Tragic, I've been subscribed for a while, but I can't remember where I found your channel. It must have been through another streamer. Oh, people come in and out all the time. Who cares how you found me? You found me, Tragic T. What a great and wonderful day. Thank you for finding me. Yes, a female shooter. That's different. Yes, I don't think there's been another female shooter. Yes, she was shot. She was shot. Um, I don't. I think the police shot her. From what this is my from what the news said, huh?
Oh, I was trying to help.
They said the police shot her, right?
Yes.
Yes, because she drew down on them. From the news, the commissioner, whoever read the statement, said a 5-man team police went up to where she was. She shot at them and they returned fire, and one officer was hit in the hand. So she was a pretty good shot. And they shot her. So a total of 7 people died. 3 kids, 3 adults, and the shooter, 7. Um, I'm having a I have a feeling that this girl, you know, and another part of this that makes it different is this is the first time that you're going to hear anything on the private school arena of shootings. You have shootings that has come about in the public school system. Almost every school shooting has been in the public schools shooting. So, I guess I call that the poverty, because that's pretty much, rich kids don't go to public school. And that's my opinion. See, Betty, how that works? Butthorn. That's my opinion. That's not a fact. Uh, and I think a lot of parents send their kids to private schools because of the shootings, because they think it won't happen here. Well, guess what, mom and dad? It just happened there. And that's a real worrisome. Why? I bet you it's the same why it happens in public schools. I bet you. I bet you the whys are the same. Except this is a female shooter. I wonder what her connection is to the school. I haven't watched the news today. I've been busy working on stuff for my channel. Yeah, get your channel together. You got to put the number 1 on that. I haven't watched the news since I got on live. I I would think, I would assume, let me say that, I would assume that she is a student. When you say what is her connection, I would assume she's a student. Um, I would try to show it, but let me tell you something. Every time I try to show something, it don't work. Like it jacks all up and stuff. I most of them, I don't think they have the in depth news yet of it. Or maybe they do. I don't know. Because Bridger's reporting the same. Um, or maybe they were, a student from before. A student in some way. I don't think just a stranger, just a strange kid just walked in there and said, "Hey, I'm gonna shoot somebody today in this particular school," because it's a private school. So either she went to school there before, or she's a student there now, is what I'm assuming. Um, and you got the governor saying, and the representatives saying, their hearts and all that, and they're monitoring the situation and all the normal things that they say when things happen. But what are they going to do about it? What are they going to do? Anything? They say they're going to do this, they get money for that, but then what do they do? How do you pick what you're going to do anyway? Because you never know where it's going to happen. No, it's not a Catholic school. Did you say it was a Catholic school? No, it's not. Yeah, you would think a private school would be better security. They don't even have security. They don't have security. Um, they keep calling it the Covenants. I think it's Presbyterian. Like I said, I haven't listened. All I keep hearing them say the Covenant School. And I've heard people say Presbyterian. I've heard people say some others, Eucharistic. They're talking about, they have a reverend. They keep talking about that. They keep saying, Eucharistic, covenant school. They're using different, all I know is two police officers heard the gunfire. That's who went up and engaged the shooter. Were two of them. I thought there were five, but that must have been later. Two of them went up. One of them got shot in the hand, but they did do something. Now they just put out a 28-year-old female suspect fatally shot by police, believed to be a former student. Uh, they just Channel 5 just put that out. But that is a very odd. That's the only place I have seen this. Uh, the only place I've seen a 28-year-old female suspect. It's the only place I have seen this put out there. Because you got to think, she went to the second floor. So wouldn't that get your attention on the first floor? A 28-year-old female inside the school building, uh, in a school building, like, or a place. Tragic. He says, I did see online a woman shot her husband live on Facebook. What? I watched some of that and the kids were home. Her mother was there, just shots and kills him at home. What the heck? I didn't see that. And you could see it online. Like, people watch. Oh, besides that, you don't want to get struck on your channel for showing content. Hey, I don't get struck for showing content because I'm not going to put that out there. I think that's unhealthy on so many ways. people say, "Oh, children shouldn't be watching that." It doesn't even matter if it's just parents or older siblings or whatever. Um, the best way that I can protect, I'm not trying to protect an adult. An adult can go search for it. Um, a child, a teenager, a young adult is by not showing it. Um, if someone's that dead set on seeing those types of things, they can go search for it. Um, I just would not. Uh, I have no. I don't see what purpose or what good that would do to put that on my live or on my site. I just try hard not to do those things. I make fun of stuff, yeah. I do a lot of things, yeah. I use humor, but what I do not do is try to further the tragic harm by posting stuff over and over that hurts people mentality as much as it does anything else. I'm still trying to get over them saying this is a 28-year-old female. I have not seen that anywhere at all. So that is what Atlanta News First, Channel 5 ANF is saying. Um, I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying what they're reporting. Wow, that's crazy. Certainly did not see that coming. Unbelievable. There's no telling what you're gonna find out on these things. There's just a lot of rumor out before you ever get to the. And you think news people would be now? There's somebody giving a news break right now on News Now Live. Um, and so I'll have to go back and watch that later. Um, I am for gun control, gun reform, and something that has to be done about the guns. My husband says it's too late. There's too many guns out there. They did it in Australia. It's so hard, the gun thing. Well, you may not agree with me either, but I will say this. I'm a veteran. I believe in the Second Amendment. I also believe that people who have guns are responsible to keep those guns in a safe manner. I think when they teach their children how to use a gun, they should start with a BB gun and then pellet and then move up as age grades up. I think gun safety should be used. I think you should have to pass a course of some sort that you get a certificate for before you're allowed to go in and buy a gun from like a sporting store or something like that. Um, and a gun owner should not have a problem with this, especially because I just covered the kid in Texas shooting.
Salvatore?
Yeah, Salvador Ramos, and he walked in the gun store and he bought all that himself. I showed the film of it. It's not, I'm not saying we should not be allowed to have guns. We have the right to have guns, but we have to put something in place that protects some kind of. I'm not for you saying we can't have guns. No way. We have the right to bear arms. And one day in this country, you're going to want that. There's no telling when the enemy from far away, those balloons in the sky, people get, on the news that come from wherever, the planes, that one day you're going to need your Patriot Army. So I do not believe that guns don't need to be in the hands of the free and the brave. I do. But I think, if you belong to the free and the brave, you need to teach these children or anybody to use those guns in the safest way. And if you choose not to be around guns, then at least take your child, if they want a gun or not, to go to a gun safety course. Even if you do not plan on owning a gun, take a gun safety course. It's just that simple. We have the right to bear arms. We should be able to. We should have education for people who don't know how to, deal with things like that. We should make sure that a person is mentally stable as well. I'm not going to call this man, well, I know it's a lady, so I'm not going to call this female because I don't know her age yet. I just know what people are reporting. I'm not going to say this female is unstable. Because think about yourself. You could be a totally stable person until somebody pushes you too damn far. And only you know how far that is. And when that far comes, only you know how you will handle it. You can lie to yourselves right now because you're not standing in that too far place. But if someone threatened your child, if someone was standing in your home, if someone did something to you that pushed you to the edge, and you won't know that edge until you're standing there, nobody, absolutely nobody knows in advance what they would do when they get to that edge. You could either be a person who freezes, or you could be a person that steps up to the game. You don't know that until it happens. Right, Squirrel?
Right. That is true.
You don't know. Tragic T says, I'm for gun control, gun reform, something that has to be done about guns. I understand your point of view, and in some cases, people carrying guns have saved lives. That's right. Guns should be for saving lives, not taking them. It's true, people need to be scared, exactly. But you can get a gun on the street. That's right. I'm assuming there are a lot of illegal guns, and you should. There's just a whole hell of a lot of guns. Americans are never going to give up their guns. How the West was won. We're in a new West. I believe that. Except in this new West, there's more criminals than good guys. If someone says we're going to take guns away, then the only guns you're talking about taking away are the ones that are registered and that you know where they are. When New Orleans got flooded, there was no police there. When Katrina hit, there was no police there. Was there crime involved to a little degree to get water and food? Yes, but mostly the criminals helped each other and to a certain degree. Did those people have guns in their homes that they stood their ground with against those who tried to rob them? Yes, they did. Did they just shoot them? No, they didn't. They understood why they were trying to do what they were trying to do. But when the military or the reserves and the so-called cops came in, when they finally decided they had a vehicle that they won't get wet, what is the first thing they did? Oh, the first thing they did was go to each home along the way and take the guns. Why is that? They didn't come in there carrying water. They came and got the guns, or they wanted to, but the people didn't give them up. Good job. Good job, New Orleans. Don't give up your damn gun that saved your life during Katrina. If you don't know what it was like, don't worry about it. They survived. You're right. People can get a gun on the street. And that's what happens when good people try to get guns. There's some people who are good, maybe did a mistake along their way in life, but they've learned from it, and you make it where they can't get a gun. They can get a gun. Everybody in this country can get a gun. Somehow, somewhere, some way, they can get a gun. Just how much do you want to pay? I think everyone has the right to protect their family in any way, any means necessary. You don't even have enough cops in this country to police the crime that's going on now. So you damn sure ain't gonna have enough when it goes ballistically crazy. You're not gonna have enough. You don't have enough now. So Second Amendment is why other countries don't attack us as much as they would if it was just a police state. You better think about that. Other countries don't really attack us for one reason is they don't know how many guns we have. They don't know the size of our military. Do they know what size our federal military is? Yeah, they can find that out. But do they know how big our military carrying guns are? No, they don't. And I'm talking about your republic and your military that you know. We have a really big Second Amendment military in this country. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you need to go get educated. Just because you're a Second Amendment military person means you carry the right to carry a gun, doesn't mean you're a bad person. And people shouldn't be treating you that way. My advice is stay away from bad people, starting with Betty BUTTHORN. Stay away from people like that. She just wants your view. She just wants you to donate your money for a paper or pen. Go buy your own damn paper and pen. She wants you to donate money so she can go get on her bullhorn in front of people's houses and yell and scream like that's doing something. Hey, how many kids have you found? all these people donating their money to you and all that. How many kids have you found yourself? None. If I had to put them side by side, Betty Butthorn and Natasha Cooper, who I don't talk about ever, really. I talked about her one time before, and this is the second time that I've talked about her. If I had to put my money on the table, which way I would trust to go, my money's on Natasha Cooper. Because for as bad as she is at some things, she's good at some things. And she's changed a whole lot since the grandbaby came in. And she does help a lot of people. I ain't heard Betty Butthorn help anybody except herself. Betty Butthorn, your news ain't news. It's your opinion loudly given. And I ain't listening. And anybody else should stop listening, especially the hate you spit out today. All we know now is exactly what the news is telling us, not what you telling us. You are not a good news person. Wait till all the news gets out if you're gonna try to keep doing news information. Just stay the hell off the news, probably. Stick to what you do, whatever the fuck that is. All right, everybody, I'm going to jump off here. Please go by and click the like button and subscribe. There is no place where we can just be free, they say. I say, yeah, you can. You can be free at Sears. You can say what you want. We can talk about what you want. But don't get mad if your feelings get hurt. And don't be, hold on, I got to answer this. I don't leave anybody unanswered. Tragic T says, we had a hurricane and the place was shut down for 3 weeks. When we came back, the National Guard was here and I never felt unsafe. So I'm hearing you loud. That's good that you never felt unsafe. That's really good. I'm glad. Hurricanes can be scary. Shutting down for 3 weeks, that's good. It's not a long time. Tragic T, I hope you have a great day. Come back anytime. Love talking to you. Squirrel Girl, thank you for keeping my things running smoothly so I didn't have problems like Butthorn Betty. Like I buy a new computer and I can't get my words out no matter what. There ain't nothing wrong with my shit. That was Betty Butthorn Connections. Live and in polished crap. Y'all have a great day. Don't get in trouble and do something nice for someone. Y'all have a good one. Bye. Till next time.